Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Riderpiece Theater. Me, Alistair Dayhawk, and tonight, me proud to present Kamen Rider Gavv, episode 14. These writers are very good, and I have to admit, Gavv Creative, you pulled the rug underneath me in this episode. Because here I thought that Shoma would never, ever kill off one of his siblings, because due to his personality, due to his character, I assume that he will try his hardest to make his other siblings see the light and see the error of their ways and, be like, hey, you guys done wrong. There's redemption. I want us to still be a family together, to be a family, even though you did kind of kill my mom, but still, we're family. But no, in this final scene of this episode, Shoma blew up one of his siblings. Yeah, and we haven't gotten a reaction from Shoma due to the fact that he collapsed. So in the next episode, we're going to see the effects of what he did. But regardless, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So let us start this tale where we left off, where Shoma is being blown off a cliff. And if you're a main character or a character that is so beloved that you will have plot armor, and unless you're a hit or me and get blown off a cliff and lie to your friends and family that you had amnesia, then you have two survivors getting blown off the cliff. So Shoma is being blown off the cliff while the twins and Hanto is witnessing this awful moment. The twins summon their agents and tells them, go find the corpse. Bring the corpse to us. We need to make sure that he is legitimately dead. And as Hanto is listening and seeing all this going down, he just runs away. But, in the way of, I'm running away to hunt down, Shoma to make sure that he's still alive. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry, Hanto. He has plot armor. He is okay. He's the main star of the show. There's no way they're going to kill him off. So we go to Sachika. Poor Sachika. She is very worried because Shoma didn't show up. And she's been constantly calling him, but there's no answer. And speaking of Shoma, we get to the next scene. You see Shoma, cuts and bruises. He fell off a cliff, and he somehow, some way survived the fall. And because he has plot armor, he reaches out to his phone and notices that Sachika has been trying to reach out to him for how long, and also his phone was about to die. His battery is on the red. And luckily for Shoma, Hanto finds him first, and Shoma is hungry, of course, and asks Hanto if there's anything that I could eat because I'm hungry. And luckily for Shoma, Hanto had a bag of candy, so he ends up eating a couple of candies to get him up. And Hanto, was concerned because obviously he fell off a cliff. He shouldn't have survived, but he survived. And he thought that, hey, we should go to the hospital. But Shoma was like, no, don't take me to the hospital. I need to go see Sachika because I have a promise to keep. I want to go see her. And Hanto was like, I don't know about this. You should really go see a doctor. But he has no choice but to oblige. So he takes him to see Sachika. And as they walk away, in this spooky forest because it's in the middle of the night. We see 3 newborn gachizos. But I want to say this before I continue on. Let's say Hanto was very insistent on taking Shoma to see a doctor. He assumes that he is human, right? Can you imagine a doctor trying to check him out? And, well, first, the doctor will ask, like, what the hell happened? He looked like he got into a fight. And Hanto will have to lie and say, well, technically, yeah, without saying, yeah, he got into a fight and then he fell off a cliff. Right? So he cannot tell the truth because he knows that if he takes Shoma to the hospital, the doctor will ask questions and Hanto will really have to improv his way out of that situation without being suspicious and all that stuff, because the doctor will need to ask questions in order to really, okay, what am I supposed to do with this kid? Like, what happened? I need to know so I can see what I'm up against here. Can you imagine the doctor trying to lift off his shirt and seeing this mechanical second mouth where the belly button is supposed to be at, and be like, what the hell is this? And then it will lead to Hanto be like, oh crap, is Shoma a gannute? And already the secret is going to be blown right there and then. So I understand, especially in creative, that we cannot take Shoma to the hospital because of this scenario here. So let's just have Shoma be like, no, take me to Sachika. I have a promise to keep. Don't worry about me. Just take me to her. That's fine. And Hanto, I mean, if I were Hanto, I'd be like, dude, you just fell off a cliff. I need to take you to a doctor, man. I can't, like, what happens? You have internal injuries and all that. You couldn't survive the fall. Like, you survived, which is good, but you must have injuries. No, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, all right. It's just common sense, guys, right? But this is Shoma we're talking about here. He's a half gannute. He has somewhat of Superman powers. So, I mean, he doesn't want to ask questions and then have to deal with Hanto and be like, well, why didn't you tell me you're a gannute? So you tried to lie to me or something? And then have the fight between him and all that too soon? You don't want that just yet. So, it's morning. Sachika slept through the night. She wakes up. And then she sees the door opening up with beating up Shoma and Hanto, and Sachika, being the wary mother that she is, be like, what the hell happened to you? Like, and Hanto's like, he got into a fight and all that. And Sachika is like, what? My boy got into a fight? I need to call the police. And then Hanto's like, no, do not call the police. Do not call the police. And all the while, Shoma just gingerly goes to the fridge and grabs his cake. And then Shoma's like, hey, let's have some cake now. And Sachika and Hanto just stares at him like, what? Like, wait a minute, now? Are you kidding me? Like, you look like you got beat up. Like, you want cake now? And Shoma says, look, let's just have this time together. I know you have questions, but let's just eat this cake that, I promised you that we'll eat together, because I have this feeling that, I will go somewhere and I will not return. So please, humor me. So leading off from that, we go to the twins. The twins receive bad news from their agents that they couldn't find the body. And out of frustration, Shida just kills them. And Gavv suggested, let's lure him out by causing chaos in the city, and he will show up. because they don't want a healed up Shoma. So the next best thing is to lure him out while he's weak, and because he's gonna try to save people. But I feel that the twins are so focused on Shoma that they fail to realize that Hanto, as Kamen Rider Valen, can, go to the city in his place and help people, But Shoma wouldn't allow Hanto to do it all by himself, especially dealing with the twins, since it's family business after all. So we go back to Sachika, Shoma, and Hanto back at the office, and we see both Sachika and Shoma, eating their cake while Hanto is like, "It's okay, I don't want your cake. I'm just looking at my stuff online." And we all know that he's looking for Kani the gannute. That's why he's just focusing on his phone. All the while, you have Sachika eating her piece of the cake that Shoma made, and she was really impressed because when she took a bite out of her cake, it was like, wow, like, this is very good, and this is your first time? Like, you should be a chef or something, a baker. And I have to admit, though, I honestly wanted Shoma's cake to taste like crap because, it's your first time. It's very rare for someone to bake their first cake and come out of it as really good versus, okay, I'm going to bake a cake and then it comes out, I taste it and it tastes like crap. But according to Sachika, it's really, really good, which leads to Shoma, and he eats his cake and be like, oh, once again, he goes to food heaven. Only this time, he gets this positive, happy feeling that is giving him positive energy that he himself has never experienced before. And then we go see his Gavv, and it looked like he was going to produce a new gachizo, but not right away. Apparently, this particular gachizo is very special that, it decides that, no, I'm not going to come out just yet. I'm going to wait it out. I'm not like one of those regular gachizos that come out immediately the moment, Shoma eats candy. I'm too special for that. So we move on from there to the city, and you are witnessing Gavv's and Sheeta's agents causing chaos in the city, causing destruction and whatnot. And as they're causing chaos, the boys receive the news on their phones. And as Shoma was looking at pictures on his phone, he notices a message in gannute language. And it reads that, "Hey, you little red Gavv runt, meet us at this particular warehouse. If not, you know what's going to happen if you don't show up. We're going to start killing people." And Shoma just turns around and stares at Hanto, and they both nod that, yeah, we need to go. So they try to leave, and then Sachika was like, wait a minute, where are you guys going? And she assumes that the boys are going to go get the revenge on the people that beat up poor Shoma. And Sachika's like, you know what? I'm going to go with you. I'm going to take my trusty bat with, sticker hearts. And not only am I going to beat them up, I'm going to take pictures and send them to the cops, and everything will be hunky-dory. But Shoma, out of concern, grabs the bat and just really be like, he is serious, Shoma, and just tells Sachika, please, I beg of you, do not come with us. You will be in danger. Just stay here and wait for our return. And this is where Sachika made Shoma promise that, look, if you're going to go over there, you have to promise me that you will come back home. Like, don't give me this crap that, oh, I'm leaving and I don't think I'm coming back. Don't give me that crap. I want you to come back. And Shoma's like, I promise. And Hanto reassures her that, hey, I'm going to be with him at all times. Don't worry about it. I will bring him back. Hanto is such a good friend, but we all know that we're gonna witness their eventual breakup, temporary breakup, once he knows the truth. But right now, we're witnessing the bromance. So as the boys leave, they run towards, and this is where Shoma tries to split off from Hanto because he needs to go to the warehouse. And Hanto was like, wait a minute. You're going the wrong way. The city is that way. And Shoma's like, I can't go with you. I need to be somewhere else. And this is where Hanto notices something and tells Shoma about this hunch he has. I saw the pictures, and I also saw this foreign language. You must have understood it. And there's something weird about these particular gannutes. And it's sort of connecting towards you. So what is going on? And Shoma tells Hanto that these gannutes were the ones that killed his mother. Now, I have something to say about that, but, before Hanto could respond, we get one of the gachizo scouts and reports to Shoma that it found Kani the gannute. And this is a perfect opportunity for Shoma because he doesn't want Hanto to get involved in his family business. And of course, if he gets involved, he's gonna the twins might tell Hanto the truth about Shoma, and he doesn't want that to happen. So Shoma tells Hanto the gachizo found Kani the gannute. Why not just go and find him instead and let me deal with what I need to do? And Hanto said, okay, that's fine. I will do that. But promise me this, that you will not get beaten up the way you did before. You will come back this alive. You promise me that. And they both fist bumps. So this episode is all about keeping one's promise. It's all about keeping promises. So let me say this before I continue on. Okay. Shoma said to Hanto that it was the twins that killed my mother. That's not necessarily true. We all know that it was the older sister that did the crushing, okay? While the other siblings just stood there and laughed as poor Shoma is crying out to his older sister to please don't crush my mother. So the twins didn't really kill his mom. Let's just get that straight, okay? If anything, his anger should go directly to his older sister, Golata, in my opinion. But I just didn't understand why Shoma said to Hanto, it was the twins that killed my mother when it's not necessarily true. They got involved, but they didn't crush her. It was Golata. But I'm just saying as a correction. It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi, telling not Anakin, Luke, that it was Darth Vader that killed your father. But then later on it was discovered that no, not really. Darth Vader is your father, and what I told you was true, but in a certain point of view. So I'm guessing Shoma pulled in Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just saying that it was the older sister that killed his mother, not the twins. So we move on from that reveal and the reason why he wants to split up. We get back to the city. We see a building in flames, and people are like staring at this building on fire. And then we get a pair of hands grabbing the newly born gachizos from the very first scene, and it was Nave that picked them up. So God only knows what he's gonna do with them. And then we get Shoma and he meets his twin siblings in the warehouse. And of course, once again, the twins are blaming their half brother, pretty much everything of what they did and what their brother did to them, destroying their supply line and that sort of thing. And everything is your fault, Shoma, and because of you we're gonna get married off and we're gonna get split off, and everything, it's your fault. And then we get a birthday flashback, where we see once again the stomach siblings, and it's once again the twins' birthday, only this time the other siblings didn't stick around and enjoy the food and just spending time with the twins on their birthday. Instead, give them their presents, turn human, and we go back to work. That's it. And the twins were like, wait a minute, you're not going to spend time with us on our birthday? Our dad is not even here. I mean, come on. And the twins not the twins, the other siblings were like, well, you got us and you got your presents, so we don't need to stay around. So yeah, happy birthday. We have work to do. Goodbye. And the twins are pretty much sad. And then we get to the next scene where we see the twins just lurking through Shoma's and their mother's room, and just witnessing, them spending time with the other. They're drawing food. This time they were drawing a strawberry cake. And I feel bad for the twins because all they wanted was to spend time with their family on their birthday, but they didn't have that. And then in the next scene, you see the twins trying to reach out to their dad, who was in the middle of a phone call. But then as the twins try to call them out and just tugging on the suit and whatnot, the father's like, no, do not interrupt me. I'm doing a very important phone call, and just brush him off. And the call was with Dente and the eventual surgery that Dente is going to perform for Shoma. And so right there and then the twins are like, well, we don't have our family, so we're gonna stick together as twin brother and sister. We're gonna have each other. No one's gonna split us apart, and everything's gonna be all right. And I want to save this to the very end of this, because ultimately it goes back to the parents, because look how the father and the mother, which, by the way, what happened to the mom? We don't know if the mother is alive or is in the picture. We don't know anything about her. But let's say she was a part of the picture. They are terrible parents, because look what they produced. They produced this, how many children that they have? They turn into monsters. They turn into murderers. I mean, come on. I mean, the father, if the mother is out of the picture, the father is a very bad father. So we get that. And the twins once again is upset with Shoma because everything is his fault. It's nothing. It's no fault of their own. Everything is Shoma's fault. And then Shoma responds back with, you guys are the ones who stood there and watched my own mother getting killed off by our older sister. And you guys continue on your murderous rampage by kidnapping humans, turning them into spices for your dark treats. You guys are really bad. So how dare you blame all your misfortunes onto me, where I done nothing wrong to you guys. I tried to reach out to you when I was little on your birthday, but you pretty much threw my flowers to the ground and stomped them and just knocked me down, and you didn't want anything to do with me. So who's really at fault here? Don't blame me for your misfortunes. So we get to see the twins and Shoma with their, colored eyes, one silver, one blue, and one purple, and then round 2 begins. We get to Hanto and Kani, the gannute, and Hanto just pins him down. And I thought Hanto was going to do a spear, but no, he just knocks him down, pins him down, and just say, hey, and whatnot. And Kani's like, no, get off me. I'm the victim here. I want to quit working with the stomach company. And this is where, the moment he got pinned down, Kani was squealing like a pig, just spilling a little bit of the tea. And then, which makes Hanto just like, wait a minute, what is the stomach company? What's going on here? And then Kani mysteriously disappears. So the seeds are already planted down. So the moment Kani mentions the stomach family, that will lead him to, Shoma's origin story. So we move on from Kani, the gannute, and Hanto, which unfortunately we didn't have another romantic moment, unlike last week. Yeah, we get to see this awesome 2-on-1 handicap match between Gavv and Shita versus Shoma. And again, where did the twins came from with the fighting styles and all that? Like, you don't need part-timers. Just go do it yourselves. You guys are excellent fighters. Like, where did that come from? But in the beginning, you see the twins really beating up their half-brother. But this is where Shoma gets this positive energy back from eating the cake, but also realizing that, wait a minute, this positive energy I've been getting since, eating the cake and being with Sachika, it's just giving me positive vibes, something that I never had while living in the stomach mansion. Because in the stomach mansion, I got nothing except for, negative energy. And he realizes that he wants to protect Sachika's smile. So he added a new goal aside from saving humanity from his family, but also he wants to do everything within his power to make and keep Sachika smile, which then in turn creates the cake gachizo, and then we get the strawberry cake form. And everybody from the twins to Nave and Hanto, because they both showed up, and they're in awe and witnessing this form in action and just getting overpowered by this new form. The twins are getting beat, and they unleash their agents, and even still he destroys them left and right and changing at least 2 of them into his foot soldiers and help him out against the agents. And then, we get to the final arc of this battle, where this is where the rug was pulled underneath me. Because as he was preparing to unleash his final attack, as he was squeezing his sword, we get this moment with Shoma saying, I wish we could have had these moments together where we see the what ifs, where we see mini Shoma playing with the twins and just being a family. But unfortunately, it was not meant to be, because of how hateful his own family is to him. And also because they crossed the line in killing his mom. So there's no way of becoming a family after that. And you see him unleash his final attack on the twins. And it looked like the twins are going to be killed off. It's over. Like, Shoma, I thought you're not going to kill off your siblings. But what we thought was the deaths of the twins, we got only one death. So it looked like Gavv was gonna be the one that's gonna get killed off. No, Shita pushes him out of the way, and we have this moment between the two, and Gavv just stares at his twin sister, And the twin sister says, thank goodness, you're safe. And then she gets blasted into bits in front of him. The same way that Shoma witnessed his own mother getting crushed before his own eyes. And, as the smoke cleared, all that's left of Shida is a broken gannute memory card that allows her to change from human to gannute to her weapon. And, Gavv was like in disbelief. His sister is killed. You promised that we're going to be together forever. You're gone, and you see him wailing. He's in pain. And instead of, going into a blind rage and going after Shoma, he just runs away with her stuff. And then Shoma, before he could react on what he just did, he just collapses due to the energy drain from becoming the cake king. He collapses. Hanto runs towards him to make sure that he's okay, he didn't die. And you hear, his stomach growling, and Hanto is like, oh, thank God you're not dead, but you worried me. So he just flicks his forehead like, ow. Shoma's like, ow. But Hanto is very happy that he's survived, that he's happy, that he's okay. And he picks him up and takes him away. And you see that sad look on Shoma's face that, I killed my twin sister. And he didn't have time to react because he was low on energy. But next week we're gonna see how he's gonna deal with the fact that he killed a family member. So we go on from there to immediately going to Sachika's office, and you see Sachika's table full of food. So she prepared dinner for Shoma. And Shoma comes in with Hanto, and Shoma's like, I'm back. And Sachika's like, welcome back, I'm home, you're home and whatnot. And before anything, he just stares at the table full of food, and he stares at, a dessert, and he goes and tries to eat it, and Sachika, being the loving mother that she is, be like, no. Sweets after your meal. And before that, you need to wash your hands. You need to clean up. Go and clean up. And Shoma's like, yeah, I'll clean up. And then Sachika invites Hanto for dinner. So he's going to be joining them as well. And then we get to the final two scenes. The first scene, we get back to the rainy alley. And poor Gavv, he is destroyed. He is descending into madness. You see him just, on the ground, in the rain, in the shady alley. And he's in disbelief because he's like, he is sad. He is angry at Shida for leaving him behind. You promised that we'll be together forever. And in his descent into madness, he starts cutting his hair off. Like, we're witnessing a Britney Spears moment, but not really shaving off his head, but just cutting off his hair. And he's in despair. And a Madden twin brother, oh, he's such a wild card, because I already imagined that he wants revenge on his half brother, but at the same time, I feel like he wants to take his anger on his other siblings as well, because as much as he wants to blame Shoma for Shida's death, I want to say that Gavv will go after Lango, because he was the one who was like, okay, you got fired, so I'm going to marry you guys off to rich families. And you're going to have to deal with it. And so I'm hoping that he's not only going to go after Shoma, but going after his other siblings as well, as he is descending into madness. And then after that, we get to see Dr. Nick, And he's like, maybe it's time to push Hanto even further because he is witnessing Shoma becoming stronger and stronger and Hanto is being left in the dust. So I think it's time for him to get an upgrade of his own, which leads to an unexpected visitor, which is Nave. Nave shows up at Dr. Nick's office, and that's the end of the episode. Now, am I shocked to see Nave in Dr. Nick's office? No. I always assumed that Dr. Nick and Nave would be working together off screen. But my question is, why would Nave work with a human? Considering how he and his other siblings are very prejudiced against humans, so why would he work for Dr. Nick? Well, with Dr. Nick, unless it's a means to an end. Why the sudden interest in Hanto? Yeah, those are very important questions that will eventually need to be answered. So I want to finish off with this. The reason why the stomach siblings are pieces of crap is it just leads back to the parents. It leads back to the father, and it leads back to the mother. Now, we don't know what happened to the mom. Is she alive? Or even if she's a part of their family, like, we don't know what happened to the mom. But regardless of the mom being involved or not, it just goes back to the parents. And it's the parents' fault because look what they raised. They raised little monsters. They're trying to kill humans in order to turn them into dark treats and to use those dark treats to make, the other gannutes in their world become addicted to the stuff and be easily controlled by Lango and the rest of his family to rule their world. And if they can rule their world, Lango and the other siblings may target other planets as well. And maybe the first target would be Earth. So what led them go down to this dark path in the first place? Was it bad parenting? Or was it that, somewhere down the line they turned to the dark side? That's a possibility too. But it looked like, as of right now, the father is a bad father because look at the way he treated Shoma. Look how he treated the twins just now. I wouldn't be surprised that he treated Nave, Golata, and Lango as crap as well. I wouldn't be surprised. But it just goes back to the parents. And I believe, this is just my opinion, that the reason why Shida is killed is due to bad parenting. If the father didn't raise little monsters, then Shida would still be alive. And Lango and the other siblings wouldn't be doing evil things. And maybe they would have treated Shoma as a part of their family. But no. So now that Shida is dead, that opens up the door to multiple family deaths. Maybe Nate gets killed off, Golata, and of course the final boss, Lango, to be, the last family member standing to get killed off by Shoma. So yeah, it goes back to the parents. It's the parents' fault. But if the mother has been killed and the father became a single dad, then it's just the responsibility, the fault goes back to the father. It goes back to the parents. And I blame them more. Of course, I do blame the stomach family, like the siblings, of course. But I think more of the blame goes directly to the father. That's just my opinion, but it's either here or there. But another excellent episode. The fight between the twins and Shoma in round 2 were good, especially like the scene where Shoma, and I don't remember if it was one of the twins. I think it was one of the twins. They were fighting on a bridge, and then you see Shoma do a flip off the bridge, and then one of the twins go after him and whatnot. I mean, I have to say the fight the fight scenes in Gavv so far, I'm getting Geats vibes. They're really stepping up a notch. I wasn't getting that from Gotchard, but right now I feel like I'm getting Geats vibes in terms of the fighting stuff. So yeah, good job on that, stunt actors. You're pretty good. Keep up the good work, and writers, keep up the good work. Thank you for saving us from Gotchard, because my God, Gotchard, the story, the writing is so horrible. But I'm happy that, we're getting good quality storylines, and I can't wait for next week's episode. And then the week after, I think we're gonna have a week or two off because of the holidays. So expect, a week off from Sentai and Kamen Rider. But give me your thoughts and opinions about episode 14. Did you like the episode? Did you dislike the episode? Did I miss anything? Because even though I have my notes in front of me, I may have missed a couple of things. Give me your thoughts and opinions on Sheeta's death, to, Jobs descend into madness, the alliance between Dr. Nick and Nave. Like, give me your thoughts and opinions on those. And I think that is it, guys. So thank you so much for listening. Give a like if you like it, and please subscribe. And I'll see you all on the other side of Oblivion. Johnny!